The mistake in the use of this am is very, very, very popular. Like it's today we are going to be talking about the difference between I am and am. Am and am. Yes, we are going to be talking about the difference between these two words, the how people misuse it in a sentence, and I'll be making it more understanding. I'll breaking it down in a way that it will be quite understandable because many people misuse this and yeah, it's true that they sound alike, they look alike, and yeah, so if you don't actually say the full form of you would think that you're actually pronouncing like the I am and am. So I'm going to be explaining these two words today, and I'm going to make sure that so I'm going to be explaining these two words today in a way that it will be quite understanding because many people usually misuse these two words in a sentence. That like some people use I am where am is supposed to be. Some people use am where I am is supposed to be. So I'll be explaining these two words in the common mistakes in their sentences and in their writing. Yeah, so let's get to it. Yeah, I am Gift Chisom. I'm glad to have you here. Yes. So let's go. So am am is a short form of I am. Am is a short form of I am. The am I'm talking about right now is the I apostrophe M. I apostrophe M and this am. So I apostrophe M is the short form of I am. Yeah, so that is um that is what that literally means. This is the short form of I am, and I am is the full form of am. So you understand. Example of I am, example of I am is I'm tired. I am tired. I'm hungry. I am hungry. I'm hungry. I am hungry. This is a short form of verb be. We use this when we are talking about ourselves. We use this when we are talking about ourselves. I. So this helps tell someone what you are, what you are doing, how you feel, and where you are. Do you understand? So, example, I am happy tells how I feel. Example, I am a student tells what I am. I am at home tells where I am. I am learning tells what I am doing. Is that clear? So now I'm going to be explaining where and when to use I am and am. I'm going to be explaining where and when to use I am and am. Remember that I am is a full form of am. Remember? And this am is just am. This am tells what you are. Use am when you want to say I am, in short, in a more natural way. Example, I am tired. Example, I am hungry. Example, I am going home. Example, I am at home. Do you understand? So you can instead of, if you don't want to use am, if you don't want to say I'm home, I'm hungry, I'm I'm um I'm tired, I'm sleepy, use I am at home, I am tired, I am hungry, I am at home. Do you get? Yeah. So when talking about yourself, don't remove the I. When you're talking about yourself, don't remove the I. The I is the subject and am is the verb. So you cannot remove yourself and use verb. You cannot remove the subject first. Like you cannot remove the subject and use verb first. You have to use subject before you use verb. And the subject is you, which is I. When you're making your sentence, the subject is you, which is I, and the verb is am. Do you get? Because in a normal English statement, the subject comes before verb. Remember I said earlier right now that the subject is you, which is I, the subject is you, and the verb is am. So when you're making a sentence, don't remove the subject. Don't take off the subject and use the verb. Don't When you are removing the subject first, you are taking yourself, which is I, out of the sentence. So don't start your sentence with am when you're making a normal English sentence. So in a normal English statement, you don't take off the subject. You don't use the verb before the subject. I don't know if this is clear now. I don't know if this is understandable. Yeah, let me come again. In English statements, the subject comes before the verb. When we are using am in a sentence, in English statement, the subject comes before the verb. In a normal statement, in a normal English statement, the subject comes before the verb. So when you start your sentence with am home, the am, like the am home, that means the English is wrong. Your sentence is wrong. So you don't take off the verb. You don't take off the subject and use the verb first. Like I said again, in a normal English statement, your subject comes before the verb and you are the subject. That I that is at the beginning of I am is the subject, which is you. So always use am, I am. Always use I am when you are making an English statement with these two words, I am and am. Remember, I am is the full form of am, and am is the short form of I am. Are we getting it? Yeah. So, but in some statements where questions are involved, right? English puts the verb before the subject. I'll come again. In some certain statements where questions are involved, English puts the verb first before the subject. I will give you example of that. Hold on. Example of this statement is am I late? Am I late? Like you are asking a question. So in on this case, English puts the verb first before the subject. What is the verb there? The verb is am. Am is the verb and the subject is I. Am I late? Am I late? So you can see that English puts the verb, which is am, first before the subject, which is why I say that in some certain statements that involves questions, English puts the verb first before the subject. Another example is what am I? What am I? Right? You can see that you can see that the verb is before the subject. What How am I doing? How am I doing? Do you get it? Like, how am I doing? It's a question. So you can see that English puts the verb before the subject. When am I leaving? Where am I going? Am I going to be a mother? So in these examples I gave, you can see that am comes before I, right? Yeah, so that is because we were asking a question. Am comes before I because we were asking a question. So let me go back again to tell you that. Let me go back again to remind you that in some certain, I said earlier that in a normal statement, in a normal English statement, the subject comes before the verb. So I is the subject and am is the verb. So I comes before the verb in a normal English statement. So, but and I also say that in some certain statements that involves question, that English puts verb first before the subject, which is what just happened, which is what I just explained now with am I going to be a mother? So you can see that in that statement, am comes before I. Are we together? So that is because we were asking a question. That was why am comes before I. That was why verb comes before the subject. Right? Good. Now let's look at common mistake people make when using am and am. I'm going home. I'm going home. They will write am without the apostrophe. That is wrong English statement. Use am with the apostrophe or you use I am going home. Use am with the apostrophe, am going home, or you use I am going home. Another mistake people make is they will write I apostrophe am going home. I apostrophe am going home. You don't in a normal English statement, you don't use I am like that. You remove the apostrophe, just take off the apostrophe, take off the apostrophe and use I am going home. I am going home is the right sentence. There is no I apostrophe am going home in English. That is wrong. Another example is I don't know where am. I don't know where am. I don't know where am. It's true that all of us know how tricky English is, right? So you cannot use the short form of am. You can't use the short form of am in a sentence like this or in a sentence similar to this or in sentences like this. I don't know where I am. You cannot use I don't know where am. If you use you don't know where, if you use I don't know where am, you are wrong. So you use I don't know where I am. Use the full form of am, not the short form of am in a sentence like this. Another example is look at where am. Look look at where am. That's wrong. You write look at where I am. Look at where I am. That is the correct way of using this am and I am. Now the common let's check the common mistake people make using am. Let's check the common mistake people make using am. So this one now is this mistake is actually very popular. The mistake in the use of this am is very 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 popular. Like it's the mistake use the common mistake of this am is very very popular. Like it's very popular. Like almost every day, every sentence, every conversation, in every chat, people always use this am wrong. So let me show you the right way to use this am. So example is somebody asking you, how are you? Somebody ask you, how are you? Then you went to type, I'm fine. That's wrong. You are misusing this am. That is not how to use this am. You don't use this am like that. If anybody asks you, how are you? Your normal English statement response should be, I am fine. Not should be, I am fine. Or this am fine. Not this am fine. Are we together? So if you've been using this, I'm fine, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm hungry, I'm home. If you've been using this am like that, stop it today. Start using I am fine, I'm fine, I am home, I'm home, I'm okay, I am okay. I am eating, I'm eating. Don't use this am fine. That is a very wrong English statement. Don't use it. You are not asking a question. Remember, it is not a question that your 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 verb will have to come before your subject. Are we together? Yeah. So I will also drop a lot of instances, examples of this in the comment section and on this post caption for you to master how to use your am and your am. So we've come to the end of this lesson. Yeah, and now I trust that you know where to use your am and your am. I trust that you know where to use your I am and your am in your sentences. Yeah. So if you learned anything at all from this video, do well to subscribe, follow, like, share for more videos like this. Thank you. See you.